Hello and welcome to one and all. In this class, we'll check out the next answer. What are all the effects of inflation? So SAQ 41 explain the effects of inflation. We all know what is the meaning of inflation, isn't it? Answer: a persistent or continuous increase in the general price level over a long period of time is known as inflation. It adversely affects the various economic activities such as production, distribution, social and political relations in an economy. See, inflation, major sections of the people are affected adversely, but it is not unanimous. It is not universally affecting in the same way of all the sections of the people. Some sections of the population, some sectors of the economy, they are gaining because of the inflation, but the majority of the sections of the population or the sectors of the economy, they are adversely affected because of inflation. So let us check out one by one who are all benefited and who are all adversely affected because of inflation. First one, what is the effect of inflation on production? So A, on production. Mild inflation encourages production as it stimulates the profit margins for the producers, and second one, hyperinflation hinders production. Okay, mild inflation, if you remember the types of inflation, what are all the types of inflation? Creeping inflation, walking inflation, running inflation, hyperinflation, isn't it? So mild inflation, that is the demand pull inflation, when the inflation is up to the 2%, 3%, 4%, they are all very mild. So they are all encouraging the production because the producer will be induced to produce certain commodities. See, unless the prices rise at least a little bit, the producers will not have any incentive to produce, because only if the prices are rising, the producer will have more and can earn more and more amount of profit. If the prices are not at all rising, then the producer will not have any incentive to produce. Okay, so as long as if it is mild inflation, that is up to 4% or below 6%, it is encouraging the producer to produce more goods and services at up to the level of demand pull inflation. But when it reaches the hyperinflation, that is more than 6% or more than 10%, the demand pull inflation will become the cost push inflation. The cost of production for the producer will increase. So that will damage or hinder the production. And point C, inflation badly affects the savings and capital formation. So how the production can happen? Only if there is investment. So investment can happen only if there is a capital formation. So what is capital formation? The savings have to be channelized into investment for production. That is what is called as the capital formation. But if the general price level in the country keeps on increasing, the savings of the country will not increase, isn't it? People will be spending more and more only for consumption. There will not be any money left for savings. So if there is shortage of savings, then investment will not happen, capital formation will not happen, then the production cannot take place in the country. Okay, so this is the effect of inflation on production. Then the next one, on distribution. So under that first one, fixed income groups suffer as their incomes do not rise as much as the price rises. The nature itself is a fixed income group. Their income is fixed. Okay, so but the prices are not fixed. Their income is fixed, but their income is not rising according to the rise in the prices. So some sections of the population, they receive only the fixed income. For example, you are a debenture holder, you are receiving a fixed rate of interest, and you are having a fixed deposit in the bank, you are receiving a fixed rate of interest. So all these salaried people, so they all not, majority of the salaried people, they are having the fixed income. So their income is not rising according to the rise in the general price level. So they will suffer because of the rise in prices. Second one, working class. Workers, especially those in the informal sector, suffer as their wages are generally low. The worker, that is in for unorganized sector. So they are not having the benefits which the organized sectors are having. So organized sector people, they are having something called the DNS allowances. So DNS allowance is something according to the rise in prices, the some additional income is provided. But all these things are not available for the people who are working in the informal sector. Okay, so the unorganized sector. So this working class, the labor class, they will suffer because of the rise in prices. Third one, debtors and creditors. Inflation results in decline in the value of money, hence debtors gain and creditors lose. So debtors, when they are borrowing the money, the value of money is more. See, whenever they are borrowing, the terms, when how much they are repaying along with the rate of interest, that is fixed. After maybe after 6 months they are repaying the loan which they have borrowed, but then within the 6 months the price level has increased. That means what, the value of money has decreased, but because of that the debtor is not going to pay any additional rate of interest. So that means what, when the debtors borrow the money, the value of money is more. When the creditors receive the money, the value of money has decreased. Okay, so the creditors lose and the debtors gain because of the inflation. And point D, consumers and entrepreneurs. Consumers lose but entrepreneurs gain because of inflation. The consumers lose because the consumers have to, for the same amount of commodity, the consumers have to pay more and more amount of money, isn't it? They have to part with more and more amount of their money income, whereas the producers are gaining because of the rise in prices, their profits are increasing. Okay, so that's why the consumers are losing but the producers or the entrepreneurs are gaining because of inflation. Okay, and then the next one, C, on social justice front, how it affects how inflation is affecting. Inflation creates unequal opportunities in matters of health, education and employment, resulting in social injustice. So inflation, what is happening because of inflation? The rich will become richer, the poor will become poorer. That's what is happening because of inflation. The income will not be distributed properly. There will be unequal distribution of income in the country. Okay, not only in the income, in the matters of health, education. So everything will become very, very expensive. The health will become very expensive. The educational facilities will become very expensive. So who can afford? Only the richer sections of the population can afford all that proper educational facilities, proper health facilities. So there will be social injustice. The poor are becoming more poor, but the rich are becoming richer and richer. Okay, and they will get more and more amount of opportunities. And point D, on political front, inflation widens social and economic inequalities, resulting in social unrest. This threatens the political stability because there will be total unrest in the economy. The economic inequalities are happening in the country, the social inequalities are happening in the country, there will be unrest among the people. So all this terrorism, all those things will happen in the country, that will destabilize the political setup of a country. So that will there will be political instability. So that's why we can see that overall inflation is not conducive for major sectors of the economy. For many of so let me include here, for majority of the sectors of the economy. Majority of the sectors of the economy. Okay, thus overall inflation is not conducive for majority of the sectors of the economy. It's only benefiting only a certain sections of the people, but the majority of the sections of the people are adversely affected because of inflation. So what the government has to do? The government has to take both short term as well as long term measures to control the inflation. Okay, because we have seen, isn't it, if the government is not able to control the inflation, then that will become very too dangerous and it will become uncontrollable. That will result in hyper or the galloping inflation. So sooner the government or the country controls the inflation, it is beneficial for everyone. Okay, so these are all the effects of inflation. Hope you have understood the concept. If you have any doubt, please mention them in the comment box. If you find this video useful, please like, share and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, so until my next class, take care. Bye bye.